Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In a lot of these internal martial arts, internal Chinese martial arts, they have different variations of the same thing. They have this saying that if you can't stand properly, then how do you expect to move properly? Now you might think, yeah, but I move all the time, and I'm pretty sure I stand all the time, and I'm standing correctly, I know how it's done. I mean, I've been walking and running since I was a little kid. True. However, what I'm going to ask you is, if you were to stand, just stand, don't do anything else, just stand, how long could you stand for? How long could you stand for? Now, if you're like most people, you will not be able to stand for more than maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then you'll begin to feel pains in your body. Maybe in your lower back, maybe in your knees, maybe in your shoulders, upper back, middle back, whatever. How come? Why are you feeling these pains? You're not doing anything. If you're not doing anything, then why are your muscles feeling pain? The answer, of course, is that you are doing something, and hence why you're feeling that pain. Now, that might not be such a big deal, except that it actually is, because when you're using your muscles in a superfluous way, in an excessive way, I mean, really, for most things, you don't need more than your major muscles, and by major I mean muscles within your hip, and then the major muscles, and then very little after that, for most movements. And yet, what you'll find is that people will use far more than that. And so what happens is, when someone's punching, for example, instead of it just going straight, and instead of all of that momentum, all of that physics just moving in a straight line, you have other things going on at the same time, pulling back as well as pushing, as well as taking it from side to side. But you're unaware of that because you're used to it. It's like when you hear a sound, after a while you just don't hear it anymore because you just get used to it. The same thing happens with the muscles, except that when you stand, your muscles are still doing things, but they don't need to be doing things. It's superfluous. You do not need to be doing anything. It's excessive. And so you begin to feel the pain of doing something when you're not supposed to be doing something. And that's why these Chinese martial arts all focus on these standing positions and different standing positions. So this is part of what I'm going to be teaching within the 1% Club. How to stop, how to eradicate these unnecessary, excessive, superfluous movements. You don't need them. Now, some of you might think, you know what, I couldn't care less how I walk. I couldn't care less if I have pains in my body or this or that. Okay, well, I'm not going to even argue with you because there's no point. But what I will say is that when you begin to become aware of how your body works, you also begin to become aware of how your mind works and how your emotions work. If we're doing actions that are excessive, imagine all of the emotions that are excessive, all of those emotions that get in the way, all of those emotions that grind you down, all of those emotions that are pure resistance to your success. Imagine all of the thoughts that you have that are just superfluous, that are just excessive, they just don't need to be there. Surely it is a character and a sign of excellence that one only uses the necessary effort that one requires. And there's a beauty and an art to that. Okay, so that's it really. Part of the 1% Club is learning how your body works, getting rid of excess, getting rid of excess in emotion, and getting rid of excess in thinking, as well as then honing in and having a laser precision with regards to your goals. And part of that is getting rid of the goals you thought you wanted, but you really don't want them. Okay, or thoughts that other people sold you, goals that other people have sold you, but they're not really your goals, and you don't want anything to do with them in truth. The liberation that comes from removing that excess is phenomenal. Okay, if anyone has any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.